Alright, we are live. Can we do a quick audio check?
Check. Somebody,
Audio check.
Malav,
I'm
I know,
present.
did you see more than two people on the stream? So,
We are live.
someone
We are
share
very
that.
much
Someone
audible.
share this link.
Yes, that is gonna be me.
Um, all
Uh,
right.
and
Uh,
Vivek, you can do the intro still then.
yeah. What's up, everyone? Welcome to another round in season 10. I say that because I've forgotten which round number this actually is. And welcome to Qatar. For the first time ever in IRL, new track. Um, and alongside me for a short while is um, Chips,
Myself, yes.
your regular commentator, and somebody who I've commentated a lot with, and also URL Basil. Once again, I think he was here last time. We are back from our week's break, and just excited. What do you guys think about this track?
Oh, can I go first?
Yeah,
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, unlike the majority, I'm not the biggest fan of this track. Maybe it's because I'm on a controller. Maybe I just don't like the nature of fast flowy corners on a controller. Whatever it is, I'm not the biggest fan, but I have to say it's really fun to drive around here. Though I would not want to race around here. However, I think that this is gonna give us a very good qualifying session. Given that we also have a sprint, it should be really fun quali session. I think we could see the top five. I'll give a bold prediction before I leave. The top five separated by 2 tenths. Yeah, Baz, go for it.
Yeah, no, I'd like to agree as well. It's one of those tracks that's just a quality track. Maybe not for racing, but I reckon it'll be very close up top with the strongest drivers in this tier.
Yes,
yeah.
definitely so.
And
And Vivek, what about
Chips.
you? Yeah.
I think it's quite a good track. And Chips, since you have been commentating every week, just update everyone on the championship standings because I have no clue on that. So it would
It's
be a good refresher course for me as well.
and
And
I must say that I haven't really kept track of the standings, but what I do know is that it's Harsh and Shooter who are engaged in a brilliant battle. Shooter has clawed back a lot of points over the course of the season on Harsh, and the Ferraris had a very strong start, but then they've just fallen away a little bit, and Shooter's really come back into play here. And yeah,
yeah.
it's crucial for Harsh to get a few good rounds in. Shooter seems to be picking up the consistency. Harsh has the pace, he just hasn't been particularly fast right now. As I see
And he just
Shrikant has hit the
absolutely
wall
blitzed
coming
the
with the
first sector. Harsh to 26-3. That is very impressive. Can he continue the
exact.
lap around? One thing that we do know in quali here is that this is a bit like Portimao. You have to let go of that hot lap button at some point. Otherwise, you're going to run out on the straight. This track, a notorious ERS drainer. So it'll be interesting how people choose to deploy their battery. Because as Harsh is on an absolute flyer here, by the way. I'm just watching him. He's sail across. We're gonna shift to somebody's hot lap for the next runs, but I'd wait until somebody sets
I
a lap.
think Harsh is about to finish his lap.
It's been near enough 5 minutes now, and no one has set a lap time as Pandan just sets a lap time. 21.5. I think Harsh is gonna absolutely blitz this, by the way. He has run out of battery, so he's gonna lose those last few tenths. 20.5.
No.
That
Second
is,
quicker.
and
And there you go,
Shooter
Shooter,
goes
right behind him.
26.
So these two keep an eye out for this in the
Yeah,
main
so
race.
to me it
And
looked like Harsh did not let go of his hot lap at all because from what I know, his middle sector was quite fast, and then I saw him derating from basically the entire last straight. So if he deploys it smarter, he has a lot of margin on that lap. Minan Manan goes 21.3, which is impressive considering I don't think his time trial is even a 21. So
as Wicked Vicky has run out of battery well before Harsh did. Coming up to the line, the Red Bull driver will go P3 or 121.3,
So
marginally ahead of Manan. But yeah,
Chips and Baz, what would your strategy be here? Are you willing to like sacrifice a tenth while flicking the switch on your car
yes,
for this last straight?
Yeah.
What do you think the meta should
it's
be
worth
here?
it to lose a second. To lose a tenth than lose a second, possibly.
Well,
Because I feel
and
like Drivers
Ooh,
do lose a lot of
that was
time
a
down the main
lot of
straight.
traffic right there at turn one, and it is a complicated pit lane exit here because it's so narrow. It's made for MotoGP bikes, and when a car is streaking ahead, we might see a few incidents.
Noble guy has done his lap.
And yeah, just
Yeah,
gonna
no,
go for
Noble
that.
got,
He's been very rapid, and we've seen
yeah.
him do a few quality attempts. Yeah, as somebody, the McLaren gets out of the way there. I'm not sure who that was, but that was a very
Let's see if he
nice.
derates down the straight.
And he has run out of battery already.
Yeah,
So
and
drivers,
yeah.
I'm not sure know this trick Vipix. So he's gonna lose a lot of time down the main straight, going up to the line. He is still gonna go P1 though,
Ooh, that's
120.5
close.
marginally. Is a hundredth ahead of Harsh. But yeah, that I think drivers are not well aware of this. Somebody who is aware of it is Jin down in 15th right now. He is in the Aston Martin and he should be looking to finish his lap
Not looking like the
in the
most
next couple of
impressive lap though. It
seconds.
was nearly a 54 through the middle.
Yeah, but I think you
This
know
will give us a
Jin.
good comparison though, because he's more than
Yeah,
half a second down on Harsh through the middle part of the lap. So if he ends up and he is also derating, I just saw it.
I think he will get to the line in just in time without running out of battery, and he's done it to perfection,
Yeah, so
absolute
look at
perfection.
that.
He's got speed 4, yeah. So we know Jin. He is not. He's one who really goes for the strategic. He's a mastermind in all this.
Yes.
Even if he knows that he doesn't have the raw
And
pace
now
around the
going
track,
from
he is
strategic
very smart.
mastermind, let's spectate Shrikant Das on the lap. Baz will take us through this.
Go for it, guys.
Yeah, so yeah, going down the home straight, you want to take this fairly quickly. Push down to at least fifth. Bring it down to fourth. I think he missed the A test. Go on the throttle as soon as possible. No, this lap is not looking too good. You want to cut that throttle as much as you can. Alright, then now you want to keep. You want to go down to fifth. Yeah, try to take this flat as much. You didn't take it flat. And then swing right and then left. Get on the power as soon as possible. This corner is very important to get on the power as soon as you can, but not mandate by going over the line. Maybe you can do that as well. And here soon, it's one of the like soonish corners. Get on the power as soon as possible. That was just all flat out till I believe ultimate corner. Alright, so do this. No, he down. What did he do here? Okay, he lifted off and had a moment. Okay, the lap is not looking particularly great. But let's see what he does. I think he didn't turn the DRS off either, so he's run out of DRS at the end.
Yeah, I'd just like to apologize to the viewers who had to watch that. Yeah.
20.7.
So that just shows how much track evolution there is.
20.7, just a tenth behind shooter. Not bad.
Definitely
I
would have
think,
been on pole had he actually turned off his ERS for the main straight.
And we have a driver who's out on track right now who we know is very, very fast. It's just that usually he doesn't get to the end of the race. It's Oxidized Rage. He is wickedly fast.
Yeah, let's
And
oh, is he gonna get held up here though?
I don't think so.
Sector one, I see
The
that-
Alpine should get out of the way there as Oxida is going through the first corner. The Alpine is still there. On the racing line, is it? No. Alpine gets out of the way and Oxida is through this left-hander and the subsequent right-hander. Navigates it very
I think
nicely
one thing
and-
is that people are taking it very safe right now because there's a sprint not just a normal quali. So we might see the top 5 definitely might go for a bit more risky strat through the what car was that just knocked
that was
over
the
the brake marker in the
Mercedes, yeah.
slowest form ever. But yeah,
Oxida is still on it. He looks to be building up to a
not
neat
the
conclusion of the
best
lap.
of first sectors because it was a 10
Yeah.
down on Shrikant and
He's had a
Ooh,
bit of traffic.
on the racing line. He
That
would
might
not
have
be
been
happy.
Ramen. That
He
might
would
have been
not be
Ramen.
happy.
Let's have a
Think-
look. No,
think
that
that
was
was seven.
7. That was 7. You're
Seven.
right. So the driver just ahead of Oxidize at the moment is kind of like slightly held up.
Oh,
Oxidize
and
has
he's-
gone for a spin, but thanks to the extensive runoff area at Qatar, he's
Yeah.
not really had a massive
And
accident.
good thing
He's just
that he
found the
went
wall.
good thing that he went tire first into that because if he had gone front first, that might still have been a DNF because of this game's brilliant damage model. That
Yeah,
cannot be questioned.
of course.
And
we
Shooter
have
meanwhile goes
Rasan.
purple in the first
Alright.
sector. and there has been a lot of track evolution as we saw from Shrikant's lap earlier. So I say it's a 4 to 5 car shootout for pole right now. However much that is
I
worth,
think
of
that
course, there
is
could be
pretty apt.
an
Pretty apt. We
absolute
could.
Valtteri Bottas moment, and he's 2 tenths up now into the middle part of the lap, going all the way for it, which is all of the track. Clean through the penultimate corner. I don't think anyone's done that yet. Let's watch for his deration through the last section, and he is derating already. So
Oh no.
people really choosing to go for the lap time. This might be. It is a 20.3. So he actually
That's a
lost
great
time
lap.
in that last sector, which I'm pretty sure that Noble and Harsh would be well aware of.
Yeah.
Do you want
Yeah.
to go first and set your lap in Qatar here, especially when you know the last sector is very tricky to go fast around it.
Well,
And do
somebody
you
has
want
to go punch a hole.
Yeah, do you
So
have to? Do you try
you'll get
to?
an empty track. That's the only
Yeah,
benefit. We
There's
do have
not.
Raman coming up to the line. He is not
Yeah.
set a lap yet, and his teammate Seven is also improving. Seven has handled the duration a little better. Seven coming up to the line. Currently P12 will jump up all the way to P8, 4 places up on where he was. Raman coming up to the line, only P10. So the Mercs
I think he
currently
has
in the
fuel in his
midfield.
car. I think he has fuel in his car. Though
Um,
that's
I think that is sensible. The recharge around here, but then again,
there
this
is
track is very
no
heavy on tire wear. So
and there is no recharge around here. Because everyone's.
when
I'm
you have
pretty
your
sure everyone's running like a lot of front wing.
and
Uh,
Abhi
of
coming
course,
up to
this
the
is
line,
6
P23.
seconds faster than what we're getting in real life. 7 seconds actually, if you compare the top time to
Hey,
real
why are
life.
you
So
looking for realism, man?
Cody's
Really,
with
you're looking
that.
for realism?
Yeah,
This is Codemasters, man. We give you the best games ever, ever, ever.
yeah.
5 minutes in the session, and the top
Only
10
two.
are one
No
and a
one's
half
doing
second
a
apart.
hot lap right now.
Yeah,
Uh,
seven. I think. Oh no, Viper Speed is on a lap. Not entirely sure how to feel about that, but yeah, Viper Speed coming up to the penultimate set of corners. Navigates the turn where Rockstar at a moment
I don't think
decently.
anyone is pushing right
No, never
now.
mind.
I
He's
don't know how
boxing.
we've ended up here, but no one is on a hot lap.
But most importantly, do
So
you think they are saving a set of softs?
I think they probably are. See, even though it's a set of softs, which is arguably one of the worst tires around here, it's still an extra set of tires that may come in handy during the sprint
yeah,
or the main race. So why not just save it as if you know you're not going to be particularly great in quali. So I'm looking to see what
yeah.
Oxidize does from here.
Especially with the game not allowing you to pick which two tires you don't want for a session. Very difficult feature to code in, of course. One extra selection screen. Um, I think we expect too much out of this game developer, in all honesty. How can they add that to the game?
Ah, come on, man. Really, you want something which is so difficult to code, like a screen? How
Yeah.
dare you? Aren't you satisfied with your pillows and couches and supercars in your Formula One game?
Yeah, that's
Come on. Should be. And we have Abhi on a lap, so he's improved by half a second in the first sector. So I was gonna say that Abhi is not where he usually should be. Abhi should be around where his teammate Vintage is. So they've been very equally matched on pace the most of the season. Abhi and
although
Vintage.
although half a second would still put him
Not
in
do much, yeah, for
P14.
him. Yeah. Let's see his gap as he comes. The time is gained
It's
as he
taken
comes up to
very
the end of
easy.
sector 2, and
Yeah, he
he's
does
gained
look
a
like he's
second.
taking it. He does look
Yeah.
like he's taking it quite easy.
Yeah, I think this would be the lap. I think his previous lap, the one which we see on the board right now, was set without using any battery.
All right, guys.
So
So top three separated by 10. Shrikant in fourth. Who's taking pole? Let's put those predictions out now. 3 minutes left. Now's about the time drivers are gonna start prepping.
Viper's on an out lap, and Abhi coming up to the line. He has also used up his battery. He is gonna go improve his
14.
time. He's not gonna improve his position, unfortunately for him.
And unfortunate
Uh,
last three sequences of numbers there that not
yeah.
necessarily brings good luck, but given that Manan had a big tank slapper as soon as I spectate him. You're welcome, Manan. Um,
And that was, I think, Viper Speed getting out the way a bit late. Was it, or was it just
no,
Manan
I think he
losing the
just.
rear
I
end?
think
I
that
think
was
Manan
just skill
just
issue
lost
right
the
there.
rear
Yeah,
end. Yeah,
that was just some
possibly.
skill issue.
Because Viper
I
was.
mean, it is
He,
impressive seventh till now, and he hasn't done a lap since like really early on in the session. So he does have time. But one thing is on this track, once you make an error, especially that late into the lap, can you really fire up the tire again?
uh, I think it is possible. You just need to be a bit conservative. Vintage improves 2 places up to P10. And Viper Speed is going to be the next car to start his lap. Viper
Jin's gone
Speed will
out
just.
really late there. Will he make
Uh,
it?
might
He should
just.
So
make it. He
He
should
should not
make
slow
it.
down. He should not slow
so
down
it's
at all during the lap.
so in the top four, it's Harsh, Shooter, Noble, and Shrikant. They're all in the same phase of the track. So this should be a literal shootout. But is it just me, or has one of these guys done 3 runs?
I believe all of them have, haven't they?
Let me check the race director. So Shooter's done 2.
Okay.
Noble's done 1. Noble's done 1. So he has tire advantage. So has Harsh. And so has Shrikant. So everyone except for Shooter has done 2 runs. So do you think Shooter needs this pole position now?
He does. He really
Yeah.
does. Track
Yeah,
position
he
is very
does.
vital around here. But nonetheless, anything can happen. It's going to be
Yeah,
Harsh
let's
leading
go.
the way for this
Yeah.
little
He's
posse
gonna be
here.
punching a hole right for his championship
But he's
rival.
going to get clear air ahead of him. There's
And
going to be
what's
no dirty
Shrikant?
air
What's
affecting
Shrikant
him.
doing? What's Shrikant
Shrikant is
doing?
getting
Oh
out the
my
way. Is
god,
he?
that
Or
Alpha
whoa?
Tauri. I don't know what that was.
Yeah, that's a
Anyway,
bit of
we
a.
follow Harsh around. Just behind him, you can see Shooter. This is not the race yet, folks, but this is interesting sights.
Yeah, and Harsh
Let's say
should be. I
Harsh
think Harsh
through
might
sector
improve a little
1.
bit. He knows where he made the mistakes in his previous lap, and coming up
Right,
to the end of
clear
sector
now
one,
as
he's
well. He's
invalidated. He had a
invalidated. Ooh,
moment,
he's gone straight into the gravel.
and that's the
So
Shooter
only
that's
over for
is
not
Harsh.
like
down.
a.
Shooter's down, but Noble Garter, crucially, he is up by 2 tenths. So this could be the lap for
Yeah,
Noble
and
Garter.
now
Oh,
Shrikant needs
sorry.
to carry the team here. His teammates messed up on his last run, and he needs to find some time.
Checker flags out.
Yeah, Shrikant through sector 1. Missed that apex right there,
Missed
and he is
Apex,
down.
yeah.
What about
So, yeah.
Oxrise though? We haven't seen a single attempt from Oxrise, and he is coming up to the line. He was on a brilliant lap the last time we
This
saw him,
will
and as he comes up to the line, where's he gonna be?
P6.
P6. All right, not the worst
Alright,
attempt.
Shooter through
Could
the
do
middle
better.
sector. No, I think it's between
Think
Shooter and
I,
Noble. Shrikant's not really done the best first
I think
sector
Noble
that he
has it.
needed.
Oh, Noble has a
oh,
little
he had a
snap
snap.
there.
He had a
Yeah,
snap.
exactly. And coming up to the last corner, Noble just needs to keep it within the white lines here. It's very easy to invalidate.
Shooter's
Shooter
not
coming
run
up
out
to
of
the
VRS
line.
this time. He ran out much later. He
He
improves
improves,
by
but
a
what about Noble
slight
Garter?
bit
What can Noble Garter
later.
do? He
No,
can't
he
pip
does
him.
not.
That's Shooter's pole. What
And
a brilliant
Shrikant
attempt. Shrikant is
just
down in the second sector,
Jin, what
and
was
as he
Jin
comes
gonna
up the
do?
line,
Can Jin split these Ferraris? That would be disaster for the Ferraris if they get split now
yeah.
after those
As we see
final runs.
Shrikant, does he improve? He does
No,
not.
Shrikant backed
So
up.
it's all up
Shrikant
to
backed
Jin
up.
now. I
And
don't think anybody
Suraj,
further back can improve.
Vicky, and Oxidize all
Yeah.
within all within a tenth of each
And
other.
Jin
Jin
looks to be on a
now
great lap,
across
and
the
Jin,
line.
he stays
Ooh,
P5.
just
So close to
about.
Shrikant. Yeah. And what about Manan though? Manan's invalidated.
Manan's
Viper
invalidated.
Speed is about to finish the lap,
No,
but
but he's
he
on
is
the
not on a
33
fast
already,
lap.
so
Yeah,
that's
that's not a
that's
fast lap
basically it
for Viper.
for qualifying. Shooter takes pole for the 10 lap sprint. Noble in second, Ferrari is third and fourth. They will not be happy with how that last run went. Jin in fifth, Wicked Vicky in sixth, Suraj seventh, Oxidize eighth, Manan ninth, Spandan 10th, Vintage 11th, Raman 12th, Viperspeed 13th, Rasam
Oh,
14th, Abhin 15th, and Pratham, who I think had a quali ban, so he never did a lap.
yeah. And I'm not
Is
sure why Spandan retired
is
early
Rassam
on
a
in the
new
session.
driver?
I
No, he's driven a
think not.
handful of
I think
races,
I've
not too
seen him
many,
before
but
here.
yeah. Yeah, he's driven a handful of races, not too many, but he has driven in the past. So at this point, I'll just request you guys to send me an invite once I leave the session. If I can join back, I shall. I'll stay with you all till the sprint start, or should I leave now?
That's your call,
Uh,
bro.
uh,
Right,
I mean,
I'll
well,
be
you're
here for the
welcome
race
to
start.
stay on
Yeah, you're
until
welcome to
you want,
stay.
Chips.
Yeah.
I would like to stay on,
Yeah, stay on.
So,
but I would also like to watch qualifying.
oh yeah,
Okay.
you can just keep watch on the side for us for qualifying. Basil and I will take care of the major comms duty. That would help the people who are watching this stream as well
All
to
right,
let them know
Yeah.
what's going on in qualifying when Max
all
Verstappen
right.
sets pole by 1 second.
By like by like 6 tenths.
Yeah. Anyway, Shooter, Noble, Harsh, Shrikant, Jin, Vicky, Suraj, Oxidize, Manan, Spandan, Vintage, Ramen, Viper, Rasam, Abhi, and Pratham. That's your entire grid.
Speed runner.
2.3 second split. So
So did Shooter use 2 sets or 3 sets?
no, he was the only one who used 3 sets, so he needed
Three
that pole.
sets. Would
So
that
he
come
does
back
not have
to
a
bite
fresh
him?
set now for the race.
Would that come back to bite him? That's the
That's
question.
he has track position for what that's
Track
worth.
position, but we've all done the practice. Track position is not always everything.
Yeah, but I mean he knew that going in, so I think he really wanted this pole for whatever reason. I think he believes he can break from the back.
Yeah. Yeah, he just needs to
Yeah.
keep it clean. And yeah, it'd be a good race, I think.
So strategy. What do you think the driver should go for?
Well,
Mediums?
I think
Safe bet.
Shooter is already going to start feeling the strategical disadvantages because he cannot go on softs now.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But even then, going on softs is quite touch and go to reach the end of the race or into the sprint even. So I'd expect most of the drivers to be on mediums.
As we have the
Yeah,
formation lap underway any
Yeah, you
moment
see
now.
the
Let's have a look at
great
the
yellow
tires.
walls.
Yep. Yellow wall from
I don't even
P1 to
have to look at
P16.
the tire
Yeah.
selection to know everyone's on
yeah.
medium.
Yes. Uh,
How do you do a race start here? And as the race leader, how much do you want to tug along people here? If you can't brake, do you give the lead to someone else and let them lead? Because you are going to be burning naturally the most ERS if you're leading because you're going to be punching the hole in the wall. We know how OP Slipstream is in this game.
you need a clear pace advantage to be able to stay ahead. If not, then
So
you
do you
will
think there
have
should be
to
some
do some
tactical
position
swapping
trading.
going on,
I think
especially
so.
in the front back?
I think
And
so.
what do you guys think the front pack will be? I think the top five is definitely in. I think we can expect Oxidize to try and make a few moves. Ramen is also probably out of sync with what his normal pace is.
Yeah,
We have
we
never
don't
seen a
usually
race here, so
see
there is really no
Ramen, but
data
yeah.
to go off on. But that's just something that I am looking at. 7 in 7th, by the way.
Oh, poetic. Absolutely poetic for 7 in 7.
Stars are aligning.
Yeah. Maybe he's trying to manifest something beautiful. Let's wait and
Safety
see.
car likelihood, I mean, we aside from lap 1, I don't think we should expect many, but I've been surprised before, so I'm just not gonna comment on whether safety cars are gonna come out or not.
See, it'll take a little marginal fraction of extra accelerator input to result in the wheel spin and the driver binning it into the wall. Because
Yeah, the slow
even though there's a lot
corners
of
really are
yeah,
where
exactly
the
at the
big
slow
issue
corners.
is.
That's what I was gonna say.
Oh,
So
and
even though
Spandan just,
there's
oh my god, what did he
what's
do?
happened?
He just went straight on, just flat out to the penultimate corner for some reason. As Manan, okay,
One and spun.
yeah, he's beached
Oh no,
himself. That would be a DNF
has
in
he?
real life. Yeah,
Oh, Manan's had a no. He's back on track.
yeah, it's that gravel that doesn't
Got
beat
gravel on
you.
his tires for the race start.
Yeah.
Great job.
And I think I'll let you all know when the last car's on the grid. Vifix, I think you can do this restart. Spandan's
Oh,
disqualified, all
oh,
right?
oh,
Hard
oh. Always
disqualified!
went into the back of Shooter. I was just
Wicket
seeing that.
Vicky.
As game, give me a good camera angle.
And last
Game.
car's on the grid.
Cody's.
Yeah, terrible camera angles.
Okay, we're just gonna have to make do. 5 red lights. Lights out and away we go. Harsh had a terrible start. Shooter has a brilliant one. Harsh is gonna get swallowed up there by his teammate. Now Shrikant has noble cut down the inside. There's a Red Bull, an Aston Martin and a Ferrari. And ooh, they're all so spaced. Jin versus Wicket down the inside. Wicket tried the maneuver, but he cannot make the overtake stick. And Oh, that DSQ really hurt
Every
Harsh off
Yeah,
of the
really
start.
harsh. Also,
Oh,
his reaction
Rasam
time
and
off
Viper
the
Speed
line was
does
a
not
bit
have a
poor.
wing, and neither
and
does
that's some debris for
Rasam.
the back. I must say that was a really aggressive start from Spandan. He dashed across the track to try and go down the inside, and
Yeah, so
I
after
think
all
that
of that,
resulted
the
in a bit of
Ferraris
chaos.
have changed positions, which they can swap if they want to.
Oh, Manan and Pratham make contact. That was 2-1-1 was not
Oh,
gonna go there, and they've lost
and
even more
especially at
places.
that
And
section.
Vintage was a
Vintage
bit
versus
deep.
Vintage and Abhi meanwhile, and just goes to show how
Silent
much
gainers.
time Viper Speed's lost. He's still 10 seconds behind two cars who spun.
And Harsh
And
is right
Spandan
on the
gets a
back
3
of his
seconds
teammate.
immediately on lap
And
one.
Shrikant, I think, getting out of the way
How
there.
would you,
Is
how
he?
do you get
Yeah,
a,
Shrikant gets out the way for Harsh, but his
oh,
exit is compromised,
yeah,
and
and that's
neither
gonna
of them,
allow,
I'm sorry,
that's
both of them
gonna
are going
allow
to be one
the,
from Jin.
yeah.
Jin is going to attack both of them. Shrikant not choosing the
And
best
Wicked
place to
Vicky is
let
gonna
his
attack
teammate
Jin.
go. And yeah, and Wicked Vicky might get a good
But
run
at this
on those
point,
ahead.
you do have to point out who's using battery. We're
Oh,
not gonna show
well,
it, of course, but
I can see it, I won't say it.
oh, they're
In
trying to go
this
side by
case,
side again. Wicked Vicky and
Wicked Vicky
Jin.
and Jin,
Oh,
that was
some
fantastic
neat
racing.
racing right there. And Wicked Vicky
Yeah.
will get the position for now. I think Jin's smart. He knows it might come back later.
Never
As
know.
oh, he really got pushed off track
Pushed
right
him a
there.
little bit
Yeah.
wide there, yeah.
Yeah, he was using all
Little
his
bit of
brain power
artifact.
there to realize that there's no track left. And he gets out of the way.
Yep,
Jin
and
goes on to
everyone
P6.
from P1 to P10 has DRS on someone.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
must
that's what we're
say,
going
it's
to expect on this track. If
Yeah,
you can
look.
stay within the DRS, then you can stay close with anyone who's in front of you.
Yeah, this is just
I must say, Noble's doing a good job of keeping Shooter honest.
And first to eighth, I would say, are all in the fight for the lead.
Yeah, it's anybody's game here at this point. I must say, Jin, I think will get the switchback on Vicky down the main straight. Swandan with
gets
another penalty.
3 seconds. That's
So there
2
you go.
laps, 3 warnings on each lap. And what
I think,
I'm worried about is him getting disqualified, because I think the leeway in the sprint race is not 30 seconds before you get disqualified. I think it's like
Spandan's
15.
going for a move. Spandan's going for a move.
And
he's
Oxidized
made
should be wise
mistake,
not to fight this.
Oxidized.
He's gonna finish.
He does. He does fight it though. And
No, but
Spandan
I don't
has
think
to see-
Spandan was far enough alongside, which is gonna give Ramen a sniff here. This is for a point, by the way. This exact
point.
matter. So.
Yeah, and Ramen is gonna dive down the inside
go down
really.
the
He
inside.
does.
Oh my
There's
God.
contact. That was a very aggressive lunge by Ramen there. I'm not sure what.
Oh, and Oxidized
he's trying to
one.
do. Oh, and there you go. That's what I was saying. He has so much potential and pace. Oxidized. He
Which
just doesn't get
puts
to the end of the
Abhi
races.
into P10, and if Ramen gets penalties while fighting Spandan, that will put him into the points.
Yep.
Meanwhile, Noble got us just within a second now. Shooter looks like he's
Okay.
trying to escape.
We don't want to tell people ERS, but I would not be surprised if I saw some derating going on here in the next few laps, considering that the aggressive racing we've had. Oh, as Wicked Vicky goes a bit
Wicked
wide.
Vicky
I think that
just
was
takes
definitely a warning. That was definitely a warning right there. This game is weird though.
And Harsh is outside DRS range of.
I must say,
Noble.
very impressive from
Nobody's DRS.
Suraj. He is keeping up with the leading pack. Look at that camera shot right there.
Yeah.
That is on #photoscapes. You can see first to seventh, barrel of a gun.
That is remarkable as Ramen gets past
Ramen
the
makes a
McLaren
move.
of Spandan.
Yeah, Raman has to. If he has,
Neat move,
if he,
and that's a point at the moment.
if he wants to fight with his teammate now, he has to push
Oh.
every lap to gain this time back.
Spandan is really taking his liberties with track limits, I must say. So, Baz, if you remember in the previous race, we had Abhishek in the chat asking where Spandan's daily 3-sec penalty was.
Is he there already?
2 laps, we have 6 seconds of penalties already,
Why
but
is it
Spandan
yellow?
maybe.
Oh, Oxidized
I
one
think-
again.
I think we got another
Oxidized.
3 seconds in.
Oxidized.
And
Yeah, this is what I was
Harsh,
saying.
one
Got
interesting fact, guys, Harsh cannot keep up right now. He is out of the DRS of the top 2, which means that he could come under pressure here. If he doesn't, he needs to really nail a lap right now.
Yes. It is crucial for Harsh to get back in the DRS range, because once you lose the DRS, you really are gonna fall down the order rapidly. There's gonna be no saving you.
You gain what? You gain 4 tenths on people with DRS here
He's
because
gaining on
everyone's running
Shrikant
such.
and losing to Noble. But I don't think it's going to be enough. None of them are going to get DRS at this stage.
Shrikant
Wicked
needs
Vicky
to,
might.
and
Spandan!
Swadler gets another 3 seconds. I told you there's another one incoming.
Exactly.
so
I think
yeah,
Abhishek is very happy.
Shrikant has to play this rear gunner now. Even if Shrikant loses a few positions, he cannot have Harsh as.
Oh, one
what's
of the
happening.
AlphaTauri spun is
Abhi
Abhi!
spun, no! Oh, Abhi.
Oh, wow. That was.
He just
Thank the ghosting system for existing.
across the track. Hopefully that doesn't cause a safety car because this game is very stupid, as we know.
And at this point, despite being 8 seconds behind Spandan, Vintage will still be in P9 for the moment because Spandan has 9 seconds of penalties in 5 laps.
Yeah.
How do you do that?
So that's what 9. So 9-3. That's he's cut the track 9 times. How many corners are there on this track? I'm trying to calculate.
17 or 18, I think.
So he's basically
I think
averaging
there's
a
a bit
cut every
Oh.
3 corners. Basically,
You have a
what's
spinner
happening.
in the form of Manan in the Alfa Romeo
And
who is
Manan
not
now
having
gives
a very
Abhi
good
the
time.
position back. Look at that respectful racing right there.
Oh, and Manan
It's just drifting.
struggling to come back on track. Vintage and Pratham very
Yeah,
close.
Shrikant's falling off now. So and
Oxidize.
Oxidize bites the bullet. Shrikant's drifting
Yeah.
now, and if Jin and Wicked Vicky want to challenge Harsh, they need to overtake him. Oh, Jin almost.
Yeah, and Shrikant's fallen back quite a bit
And
from
yeah, Harsh has started to push.
Harsh
I
is
think
now
this
is
is-
now in the safe
Yeah, this is
track.
the
Oh, but
time.
he's derating. He's derating down the straight. Look at that. Look
and
at
if you
that.
go on
Look at his
board
car.
with on the TV pod view, Harsh is out of battery.
Yeah, he is
Yeah.
derating down the straight already. So just you can't
is
really
going-
make mistakes here, can
Oh,
you?
no.
Because if you do, and Shrikant has fallen off like a log. He lost 6 tenths to his teammate through the last 2 sectors. So I would
Manan.
assume that an overtake on Shrikant is coming by both Jin and Wicked Vicky fairly soon.
I think so. That makes sense. Jin has been right there. I must say, Jin is being
Yeah,
very
but
consistent.
and one thing
despite
with
being in a
him
tough
is that
position.
he does better in the long form content.
Yes, I do think
And
that it's
so 5, I think, will
oh.
retire in the pits now.
think he's
No
gonna
point in
retire.
wasting a
Yeah.
tire.
that's gonna
But
be it
yeah.
for Oxidizer.
Hopefully, don't. If this causes a safety car, I'm gonna
It won't. It won't.
Shouldn't.
It won't. It won't.
clip this if it does. Somebody in chat.
But I think Noble guy is now pushing a little bit more.
Yeah,
Because
Shrikant,
he's
has fallen off
closer than he's
and
ever been to
They can.
Shooter.
And another very impressive thing from Suraj, Rahman has not gained on him at all since he made that move on Oxidize, I think around
Yeah.
5 laps ago. So, and we know how fast Rahman is. So, you know,
I think
Mercedes.
Raman's really picked up the pace this season. But
Oh,
then
and yeah,
that-
here
I
we
think
go,
that
here we
shows-
go. Wicked Vicky versus Shrikant. No battery.
holds
I think
barred.
Wicked Vicky will get him.
No obligation
easily.
for him to stay behind. Vintage with a penalty, but Wicked Vicky moves ahead of the Ferrari driver.
I'm going to
Jin
watch
is waiting
Shrikant
to pick
whether
up
he
the
can
pieces.
hold his car, and look at how much he had to back off as compared to Wicked Vicky right there. So he's definitely burned that tire out.
Yeah, it's very easy to do that when you're trying to fight around here, and Shrikant has nothing to give.
Yeah, look at the
in
traction
opposition to
difference
Wicked Vicky.
in the
Yeah,
3 cars.
nothing that he can do.
Yeah,
And
and I think Jin will be next. As
think
Noble
Jin should get
is
the move
now, Harsh is really trying to stay in there, but the fact is that I've never
Oh.
seen that gap go to like 6 or 7 tenths, and it's
It's
very difficult.
hovering around 9 tenths all the time, so it's not
He's
really
not in
what Harsh
overtaking
needs.
range.
Yeah, exactly. And see, Noble's in a tough position. He should look to be a bit more aggressive in this stage of the race, wherein he knows that Shooter will definitely have lesser battery than him. Noble will also have the DRS advantage. So I think he should make the move
There are
around
3
lap
laps
9.
left now, so yeah, he doesn't want to make it too soon though, because that's going to allow
Exactly.
Shooter to get the chance back. And I think it's definitely a 2-horse race now at the front.
Yeah.
And then this
Harsh
is a
has fallen out
battle
of
for
DRS.
last.
Spandan!
How much is that? 12 seconds now?
Yeah, that's 12
Yeah,
seconds.
that's 12,
Let me
12.
just put the penalty situation up on the board. Yeah, that's 12 for Spandan, 3 for Vintage, 3 for Manan. Oxide has also had a pen. But Shrikant's going
Shrikant
to
going
come
for a
back.
move on Wicked Vicky, and I think he's going to make it stick. Jin hasn't been able
I
to
think this is
capitalize on
smart.
this.
I think this is
A
smart.
yellow flag
because
for Viper.
there's a Viper on the track. I think this is
Yeah.
smart from Jin because he's just making them use their battery. And
And
he's
Jin
just-
has accrued a lot of battery over these past few laps. He's done very well to do some battery management here.
Oh, Harsh. Yeah, Harsh I think has settled for P3 now.
Harsh can't do much. Yeah, it makes sense. Why risk a... Yeah, he has 6 points guaranteed, right?
I think that poor race start really ate away. Because it's so marginal right now, these guys' pace. Even the slightest mistake gets punished.
Yes, definitely so. As we see Wicked Vicky still behind Shrikant. Shrikant seems to be struggling a little bit with tire temperatures. By the looks of it, I'm not entirely sure about
his car is square.
Exactly, it's a bit squirrely, squirmy.
A bit more than other drivers, definitely. Maybe he's feeling the pressure. 2 cars right behind him.
Yeah, and he always is the one punching the hole through, especially through that third sector. He gets it 3 seconds.
So drivers taking their liberties at track limits. I think this
you might as well test out right now if you have nothing to fight for. Like Abhi was in 12th, he's 10 seconds behind the next car. So
Wicked Vicky is gonna go for it. Wicked Vicky with the move on the Ferrari driver. Jin might get a double move done here. He's gonna go down the inside the Aston driver, and I think he's gonna make it stick. Yes, he does. Wicked Vicky gets superior traction.
They're gonna go side by side. They've done this the entire race. Shrikant is gonna try and stick it inside as well, and there's a big moment. They've all kept it clean though. Oh, just about.
Jin's still there though. Jin might just get the move done. He has.
I think that he sweeps around the outside. Why?
I think that was a bit intentional. I think Wicked Vicky let him by. Yeah, exactly.
He let him through. He let him through. Because I think he wants the DRS on the main straight so he can get past him.
Yeah, but what they don't realize is that Jin has a lot of battery. Jin has a lot of battery to defend with.
The last lap down.
No, this is the penultimate lap.
No, it'll be the last lap dance when they come across. So that will be the last chance to overtake.
Yeah, exactly. A last chance to overtake, correct. Yeah. So this is...
meanwhile, Noble versus... Speaking of the last chance to overtake, look at how close Noble is. I think he's timed it. I think he's timed it to perfection.
Yeah,
but as soon as I say that, he has a bit of a moment.
But he's done exactly what I said. He should look to make a move on lap 9.
With Noble now.
And Shooter's definitely lower on battery as compared to Noble. Coming out the last corner, Noble's gonna deploy all his battery and he's gonna have DRS. He's gonna use the slipstream to the maximum effect.
And look at Shooter, he's trying.
But can he hold on? I don't think he can. Noble has timed it to perfection and he takes the lead of the sprint race on the very last lap.
That is brilliant race management. He made Shooter use up all of his ERS.
And Jin is stayed ahead. Jin is stayed ahead of Wicked Vicky.
Yeah, I think that
These
was
people have timed it to perfection, their moves. And Noble just needs to hang on. Shooter has the superior grip, I think, through the corners, but I think Noble has a track position that should be enough for him.
The only way Shooter could try it is down the inside of some hairpin now, but I don't think there's enough of a tire offset. Tire offsets are something we'll start discussing in the main race more.
Yes.
Because those will play a part.
In the third sector, expect Shooter to get very
Shooter's made a bit of an error there, though. He was... Ooh, another one. I can feel it on my controller. The curb riding, and I know that he just moved off.
Expect him to close up quite a bit in the sector.
As Jin makes a little mistake there, Wicked Vicky getting a bit interested, coming up to the triple right-hander.
Can you really overtake through here though?
It's too much of a risk, I believe. Wicked Vicky might just look to make the move on the penultimate corner. Yellow flag, Manan's retired. I think it's sorted up front. It's only the battle between Jin and Wicked Vicky that we are interested in right now. Jin has not had a very good run out of that corner. Coming up to the last corner, I think Jin has got it sorted. Noble will win the race.
Oh, just about.
Less than a tenth. This could determine it. I think Wicked Vicky might have a shot. Really, he does not. Shrikant also a long way back. That is it.
And
what a brilliantly close finish up front.
Come through for the last points. So Merc, we didn't speak about them a lot, but they have driven. They get double points for their team.
Yep.
Spandan, even with all of that, okay, he loses one position. He only lost one position because Vintage is too far behind.
Vintage is a long way back, and Vintage has a penalty.
And which wasn't even on really low fuel towards the end as well. I think Noble actually ran out of fuel towards the end. Because the way his pace has dropped before the light.
Rasam's crash. No, I can see on his steering wheel, he still has fuel.
Rasam's had a little crash coming into the penultimate corner. Wow,
but that was perfect timing from Noble and Jin to win their respective battles.
So I think that
right at the end.
Exactly what Noble did, but I think we should not discount Jin's performance.
You have to feel hard done if you're a shooter though. Like you punched a hole for 8 laps and then just get done in at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's racing. That's simply put, that's racing. Sometimes
Yeah,
you win, sometimes you don't.
that's
And
racing.
Pratham with the DOTD. I think Pratham had a spin on the very first lap. So yeah, despite all that, he has been given the drive of the day. But what a brilliant drive by Shooter Noble here to take the win from Shooter right at the death. The top two change their positions. P2 finishes P1, P1 finishes P2. Harsh retains his position. Jin with a brilliant performance
Yeah.
there. Right at the end there, Wicked Vicky from P6 to P5. Shrikant falls back 2 places from 4th to 6th. 7 stays 7 after starting 7th. What a lovely
Ramen in 8th
scene of
gets the
numbers.
last points.
Yeah.
Pratham in 9th. Spandan
And
in 10th.
with a myriad of penalties. 15 seconds of penalties for
15.
Spandan.
15 in the
Yeah, I
end.
didn't notice the
I
last
hope
one.
for his sake he doesn't do that in the main race because he will get disqualified. 15 in 10 laps, that would mean, yeah, he would get disqualified. So, hopefully not.
Yeah. Now we move on to the main race. So,
Yes.
gents, what do you think? What are we going to see here?
I think that
I think it'll be a
there,
repeat of the same. It was similar-ish between at least the front
you
drivers.
don't want to lead here, is
Yeah.
what we've learned. Until right at the very end.
Yeah, I
Will
think
Shooter
that
repay
is
the
crucial.
favor? But one disadvantage to Shooter is that he doesn't have the luxury of having a fresh set of softs.
So what
Yeah.
strategies? What are we saying about strategies? One stop, two stop, maybe?
I think two stop should be the best.
Yeah, I
One
think two
stop
stop
is very
because
risky.
one thing is that if you have to conserve tires and fuel, at a track like Singapore, it's relatively easier to do that because you can just slow the entire pack down to your pace. Oh, we do have formation up. It's such a simple feature. Wonder how that could get broken. But yeah, as I was saying, you can just make everyone drive at your own pace level if it was Singapore. But here you cannot do that because it's such an open track, and through turn 1, you're gonna get loose positions every time. So it's really not worth it to drive super slow to make a one-stop work when you could just drive like really fast and just blitz the guys on the one-stop. And tire situation, so top 7 are all on mediums. 8th place Ramen on softs, Pratham in 9th on mediums, then 10th and 11th Spandan Vintage
Okay.
on hards, Abhi and Rasam on softs, Manan on mediums, Viper Speed on softs, Oxidize on mediums.
I don't think softs are a particularly bad choice right now. Honestly,
Yeah.
I feel like you can just pump in a few laps, say stay out till lap 5 or something. Then either go on to mediums or hards depending on
Yeah,
whether you're
I
going to do a
think
one
for
or two stop.
Ramen the goal would be he's gonna try and make some inroads into these front runners.
Raman needs to go aggressive in these first few laps. It's going to be crucial for Raman's entire race that he go aggressive in the first few laps and then pit whenever he deems it right to pit.
So the
Interesting
guys
will
on
be
hards will try and stick out a one stop because you
Yeah.
don't need the hard tire if you're gonna do a two stop strategy because there's not enough laps on this
I
track for
think
that.
these guys will be banking on a late safety car.
Yeah.
Spandan and Vintage to salvage their race. Only two people on the hards they will want for a late safety car. So
Yeah.
they can pit around say lap 14
Hopefully
or
Harsh
15.
this time slots into his
Something, but
grid
yeah.
slot. No, he
No,
doesn't.
he does not. All right.
He did it again. He ran into the back of the Opel Carter this time.
So I'm not sure
Oh.
what's up with Harsh and slotting into his grid box perfectly, but it is
If I had a
causing him a lot
penny
of
for
issues.
every time he didn't slot into his grid box, I'd have
Oh,
2
Spandan
pennies.
spins. Spandan spins on the start finish while lining up to his grid box. I'm not sure what.
If I had a penny for every
Spandan-
time Harsh didn't slot into his grid box, I'd have 2 pennies.
All right,
which
gents,
isn't a
who's
lot,
doing the race start?
But I think Baz should take this away.
Take it away, Baz.
Yeah. Okay, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. Oh! I'll be with the
sorry.
drive through.
Spandan with a drive through. So,
what a chaos!
who was that? Was Jin?
VSC.
Spandan takes
Off.
the lead.
VSC,
What
VSC.
was that?
Spandan. We got a virtual safety car. I'm not really sure what's
Yeah,
happened
I
right
think the
now.
lobby's glitched because it shows up Noble in P1, although he is like 4th or 5th of the running cars right now. I think this is a massive lobby glitch. We will have to restart here. I'm not sure why Spandan just went for it all the way. Jin is now all the way at the back. He's
Yeah,
in
I
P16
think
and he has no front wing. He got
I think
annihilated there because of Spandan just going for it. Oh, there you go.
okay,
The
now it's fixed
order
itself.
is
I don't know
fixed.
There it
What
is.
what happened there.
would
Spandan,
we
oh my god, that
restart
was
or would we carry
no,
on
I
as we
don't
are? I
because
don't
I
think
think
this
we'll
is
think
not
carry
for a
on.
then
restart.
yeah, we will
I
carry
don't
on.
think. I don't think.
Yes,
My
Spandan is a
god,
bit of a
even
hazard to other drivers and everybody else, including himself right now. I'm not sure
I
what
don't know
he's done.
what that
Okay, the
was.
field further back. I see Seven and Pratham very close. They almost made contact, I think, or was it Pratham and Raman? It was an Alpine and a Merc, that's all I saw. It's not been a very good start for Noble Gata. Harsh is now ahead of Noble Gata and Shooter is
So
in the net lead.
if you
What are
are
we going to see here?
if you were going to jump the start, wouldn't it have made sense to just back off?
I mean, that's not what Spandan does, and that's not what Spandan has done
We're
in this case
underway.
either.
We're underway.
And Spandan's immediately
Spandan
boxing.
goes
All
in.
right. Yeah, and racing
Jin
resumes.
is not gonna be happy with that.
Jin is going to be very frustrated. Understandably so. His prospect at a brilliant race was ruined immediately. He didn't even get to the
Yeah, I
first
don't
few
think he
yards.
even launched off the
Yeah.
line. By the time it reminded me of
Seven and Pratham. Seven and
meanwhile,
Pratham.
Pratham goes down the inside of
But
Suraj.
Seven has the grip
But he's gonna
around the outside. I think Seven will try to
went
hang it out,
offline a
and
bit.
Seven will have the grip, and he stays ahead. He's in P6 though, so not the manifestation that we saw in the sprint race. Some contact. Pratham loses the rear end.
He
Raman
tried
had
to
the
stick it up the
aggressive
inside.
start
Tried
of
to
there.
it.
stick it. Yeah, he tried
Yeah.
to stick his nose in.
By the way, the game very optimistic on the strategy count, on possible
Yeah.
strategies. So Jin only now does he come out of pit lane, and we don't know whether he has underbody damage or anything like that.
He may. He was at pit exit when I spectated him. So on the first few moments after the red lights went out, yellow
Yellow
flag,
flag.
somebody
Caution,
spun. That's
that's
Viper
Viper.
speed. Once again, Viper not having a very good time. He's had a few spins in the sprint and he continues to do so in the race. It's a prolonged yellow flag. I think that should disappear any moment now. So it's Spandan, Abhi and Jin who are at the back of the field now. Only Jin has made his mandatory pit stop, but obviously he will have to stop again. There's no way Hards are going to go 28 laps around a track which is so notorious at eating up tires. 7 in 7 because Pratham has overtaken him. And I think he will slot into that position for a bit.
That's finally completely fixed now because it was showing
Yeah.
the
Yeah, why
lap
were we
times of
expecting it to be
Noble and
fine?
Vicky. Yeah, of
Yeah,
Noble
we
and
sh-
Vicky, not their.
Of course.
I mean, we said Raman needs to make inroads, but he hasn't exactly.
Yeah, he hasn't.
He
He's
hasn't
just
exactly
there
made the
thereabouts.
most of those softs. Not yet, at least.
And would the
So-
tire already be going at this point? We
Yeah,
are
after
3
two
laps.
laps.
I
Three
think
laps
he
even.
he
yeah.
needs to stretch out another few laps out of this tire. Maybe at least another
No,
lap.
you
or
can
I would say
definitely
two.
go like 8 to 9 laps, but I'm just talking about has he already lost the pace advantage that the tire would have?
Possibly because he may have already may
A
have
5
like
lap
30%
stint would
tire wear.
a 5 lap stint is too short, especially consider that the first lap was a VSC.
Yeah. Yeah, he did have some tire conservation behind the VSC, so I don't think it's a problem. In other news, in real life F1, it's Sargent, Stroll, Lawson, Magnussen, and Joe who are out in Q1.
The usual
Interesting.
stuff.
5 different constructors out in
And
Q1.
and
You
one
don't usually
thing,
see that.
Jin is gonna be so frustrated. He has gained 4 seconds on Abhi in 1 lap. So that.
Not sure it
what's happening?
will necessitate
What's
for
Well, he needs a safety car. He needs a safety car
Yeah,
to get
yeah,
anything
Jin
out
needs
of
a
the race.
safety car.
At this
Yeah,
point, he is driving in anger.
Yeah,
To say the
Jin,
least.
understandably so. Jin is very
Yeah,
frustrated.
that gap has gone from 11 seconds to 5.5 in a lap and a half. 5 sectors essentially.
Yeah, I think it's not very good right now for him. Interesting is that the top 10 are all within a second of one another. And we have Oxidize on the back of Raman on the back of his teammate 7. So Okay, Rasim. And Oxidize is going backwards once again at the same corner. He had a spin in the
At least
sprint
this
race.
time
He
he
has
doesn't
another
go
spin.
into the gravel.
Yeah,
He
but
keeps the car tilting and doesn't
this
take out the
is.
brake boards.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happens to Oxidize during the races. He is absolutely on it during qualifying, but the races don't usually end very well for him. It is going to be interesting to see when the medium runners run out of tire grip and peak performance. That should be, in my calculations, around lap 11 or 12. It should absolutely go.
I think this first stint should be about stretching these as long as possible.
Spandan and
And
Viper.
then makes a move.
Viper is not having a very good race.
Abhi pit by the way already. So
Yeah. A bit early, right? To make the pit stop. Oxidize with the
Oxidize is
penalty,
a
the
three.
first of the race.
think
Shooter
Raman's
Spandan
still
hasn't
making
leads
gotten a
a move.
Harsh.
penalty at 5 laps in. A corner cutting penalty that is. He
Oh,
jumped. the start.
Raman's making a move.
Yeah, so he's not gonna fight that.
And 7 is, yeah, he knows it's for the team, it's best for the team. I think that's smart team games by the mock drivers. Rassam
and
in
you can
P9 is
see-
running a quiet race.
You can see how like cautious everyone is being. No one is really trying any moves in the leading pack because they know
It's not worth it at this
the
point.
tires. And once again, shooter. Now this time, would he be aware of it more? That it's not necessarily the best thing to be leading.
Yeah. You either need to pull away or you need to manage it in a way such that you can keep the guy behind you. It's like the Carlos Sainz
yellow.
Lando Norris tactics. A yellow flag for two
it's a-
sectors, two parts of the track.
Oxidize.
Oxidize
Once again. Yeah, once again Oxidize having a torrid time.
I think it's more of a setup related issue that
Possibly.
he's facing. Because
Possibly. Oh, Harsh is lagging a lot for me.
Maybe
on
he
my
went too
screen. Is it the
soft.
same for y'all?
yeah, he is lagging for me.
Maybe we
Yeah,
went too
because-
soft on his on his roll bars, oxidize, and so
Possibly.
every time he's trying to put the power on, it's.
I
just
think
skidding.
Shrikant, never mind. Pratham is going to go on the
Yeah, Pratham's
offensive
gonna
on
overtake
Shrikant,
Shrikant.
and
Yeah, Shrikant's
it's
tires
gonna
are falling
happen
off. It's almost like he's
long-
driving the realistic Ferrari though. How quick his tires are falling off, especially when you look at his teammate.
really eating into his tires. Shrikant.
Yeah, and that
is-
means that he will be, because look at this, Raman is actually gaining on him, and we are at the midpoint of a soft tire stint, so that should not be the case right now.
Yes, I do think that Raman should not be gaining on Shrikant at this point. Shrikant maybe he's just not got the setup right around here.
Yeah, he does seem like he's lacking a bit of pace today.
Yeah. Or maybe it's just the track. Sometimes the track is just not very much in line with you. Harsh still sticking behind
I
Shooter
think
for the
Harsh
time
is
being.
just relishing how much
Yeah.
battery
Oh,
would
Harsh
be.
makes a little mistake there, just as I say that. And further back I saw the Alpine
Makes a
and the
mistake,
Ferrari.
but because the game
Yeah.
works with the slipstream, he actually gained time through that.
Of
10.
course. Of course.
Two
Why
tenths
should you lose
actually.
time when you make a mistake? Why should you
Yeah.
lose time when you make a mistake? Come on. I think it is smart for Shooter to keep a car between himself and Noble. We saw Noble was harassing him throughout the entirety
Yeah,
of the
but he's
sprint race.
basically getting done that by the top 4 now. Not just 2 people, because Shrikant
Oh,
fell off
no,
way
not
sooner
really.
this time.
I think the dirty air from Harsh is causing Noble to have to stay a bit further back.
Another
One,
yellow
it's
flag.
again another. That's the only Red Bull in the. No, that's not the only Red Bull. It's the
No,
only Red
we
Bull
can
who's
he
in a
is in
spin.
the leading battle.
Yeah, he's the only Red Bull who's having a spin. Unfortunate for him. And he's been overtaken by Jin. So Jin, well, let's see. It's not all over for Jin. If he plays a strategy right, he could still salvage something from
And
this
he
race.
is, I have checked the lap time, he is lapping at the pace of the leaders. So,
It's a bit of
he
a
could
no man's
still
land right now.
rescue points. Maybe he could fight with this Mercedes later
Possibly.
on.
Midfield points finish
No
should
safety cars
be
come
possible for him. Yeah. Midfield points finish should be on the cards. Q2 has begun. However, I see Shrikant very close to the back of Pratham. These two have also been at it. Oxidize with the penalty. I think that's it. That's it for him.
It's curtains, I think.
There you go. Please don't be a safety car game. Please. It's in the pit lane. Understand.
One thing, he retired now, so you can't overtake at the start finish straight. It will give you an illegal overtake.
No, his car's disappeared.
No, it's gone now. It's gone. now.
So
No, if anybody was there when he was retiring, you can't
Yeah.
overtake. It
yeah,
will give
unexpected.
you
Manan with a penalty. I think this is the first of the race. legit
Yeah.
3-sec penalty.
And
Not a drive through.
Shooter, has he pushed a bit this lap? Because he either Harsh is
I think he has.
or
A marginal, a little bit.
26-1. No, the lap times are basically identical still. That's the power of DRS. Because Shooter was definitely faster than Harsh, but with the DRS, they basically do the same lap time anyway.
Yeah. I think
Harsh
this
is
is
just
playing
able
out
to live
perfectly
with
for
it.
Shooter.
And
This is playing
Ramesh
out perfectly
are
for Shooter.
just starting to fall off now, but I think he will be aware. He does have the strategic mastermind as his teammate that he will need to stretch those tires out for a few laps more. And I see Raman, actually, if he does pit, he will be on absolute. He will be absolutely flying. So he might actually, when these guys pit, be ahead of at least Pratham. So they will have to pass
But
him.
if
on
you're
track.
Ramen, do you go on to hards or mediums? What would you
I
do?
would say
do
you
next?
should go on to
Mediums.
mediums because if
Mediums.
you're going to do a
Yeah.
two-stop,
Yeah.
It's flexible.
no
Yeah,
point
it
in
is flexible. Yeah.
slowing
So
yourself down.
I think
The undercut around here is very powerful. So
exactly. So I think Ramen should look to pit on this lap or on the next lap. What do y'all think?
I think he's going to
This lap.
should pit next lap.
I think this lap should be good because he's done
Because one thing,
one-third the race
what Baz
distance on
said,
softs.
to what Baz said, they are lapping 6 seconds slower than their qualifying time right now. That's leaders.
Yeah. And Ramen stays out another lap.
So he's going to stay out
So
another
you
lap.
will at one point get into puncture territory
Yeah,
depending
so,
on your setup. On your setup as well. It's not just on the tire age. Harsh.
And I think
once
Shooter
again,
might let go of the
Shoot-
lead. So. And
No,
I think
Shooter
I know
will stay.
Harsh is just about trying his best not to take the lead.
Yeah, I think this is playing out perfectly for Shooter and Harsh. They are giving each other DRS and they're able
But
to
they
keep
get-
Noble Garda behind. Wicked Vicky is not able to really catch up. So
Yeah, Wicket Vicky has just about fallen off. So it's not like the guys in up front aren't pushing. And any slight mistake that gets you out of DRS range is very costly.
and Vicky's out of battery as well.
The
So-
only thing that could save Wicket Vicky right now is if he pits one
if
lap
he can
early.
get in between, if he can get within a second, he
Ooh,
can
as he
use
has
the
a big
DRS
Pirelli moment right there.
to get his ERS back. But he needs to get within that 1 second.
Yeah, so he
I
needs to
think
put in
Raman
a
should
lap of
box.
the
Ramen should
gods.
box.
Yeah, I think Raman will box.
So do you think it would be safer for Ramen to do a soft medium or a soft hard soft?
I think you should do a soft medium because it's going to give you more flexibility on what the next tire should be.
Because I don't think there are going to be too many safety cars or maybe
Yeah,
even
and
a
the
single
field
safety car
is
around here.
Very spread, or at
He
least
can do
until
a
the
soft,
ending
medium,
phases.
soft.
At least
Soft,
until
medium,
the.
soft. Is it possible?
Yeah.
You think?
Yeah, it is possible.
I think he should try it.
Oh,
at
people are boxing. Pratham and Shrikant box. Ramen boxes. 7
And that
stars
is
out.
very impressive
Pratham
from
just-
Raman, I must
oh!
say.
Pratham hits the wall. Shrikant gets ahead. It's a VSC
Why
already.
is it-
Shrikant gets a penalty. Oh no! So
Pratham went
all of
into
a
the
sudden
railroad.
there's chaos back in the race here. Shrikant will have to go another
And
time
there's a
round to serve
VSC.
his
There's a
5 sec.
VSC.
Yeah.
That is gonna that's gonna be so good for Raman. Oh, he goes on
Raman's
hard.
gonna be in dreamland here, and Raman goes on to hard tire. So I think he's gonna do a soft, hard, soft.
I think he's trying to do a one-stop here.
He has a bit higher tire wear, I think. But Shrikant is now in a really disadvantageous position. He now has a 5 sec penalty to contend with. Pratham
And
had a broken
that was
wing, I think.
That was a very impressive stint from Raman to go as far as the guys on
Yeah,
mediums.
really, realistically, that was a brilliant effort.
That's
there
gonna
by
push him right into
Raman.
front running contention because he has saved about 7-8 seconds.
Yeah, I think he
on his
could
pit
jump up to where Wicked Vicky
And
is.
the best
roundabout.
part for Raman is that if he's caught up with the leaders,
Look at the top four. Look at the top four. They're all absolutely bunched up here. I think it's
And it's
DRS
gone.
enabled. Green flags. Nobody with
oh,
a drive through.
Rasam's in the gravel.
Oh,
Off
Rasam
of the
with a
VSC restart. So I
Very
Some
poor
almost went into the
caught out.
rear of Manan. I think I don't know what happened there, but he took
Yeah, I
evasive
know a
action.
certain person in Vancouver who is very jealous right now.
And Raman with the
3 seconds.
penalty.
Oh,
Oh, Wicked Vicky going off track there, coming back without a warning or a
How's
pen-
Wicket
maybe
Vicky
a
got
warning.
back up by the way? That VSC has worked out for him because
Yeah,
he
that's what I
a
was saying.
second
That's
off.
why I said that. Look at the top four because they were really bunched up together. I think Shooter's done so in an effort to put
Yeah,
Nolan Gardner
sure.
under even more pressure. He has
Yeah,
Dirty up front and he has Wicked Vicky
this
behind.
is Carlos Sainz maneuvers going on right now. from shooters.
Rasam in the box. Shrikant will stay out. He will hope for another late safety
It's
car or
not the
something.
end of the world for Raman though, because the amount of time
Yeah.
that he gained was way more than 3 seconds.
But it's a matter of whether he'll be able to keep it up
The
during the
only
rest of the race.
the advantageous thing for Raman is that he could copy the strategies of the leaders now if they do come out, because technically he doesn't have to do a one stop anymore. That's given him strategy flexibility as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be very crucial for Raman.
How far behind is he? He's only
Let's
yeah,
have
so
a
he is
look.
leading the race. Once the
26
leaders
seconds was the pit
He's
pit lane time loss around here.
He's not 26 seconds behind.
28.
I
He's
think
only
it's like more like
22,
25. It's
yeah,
more like 25. So
26.4.
Raman will obviously have to think about his tires. So
I
when
think
do
he's
the
already-
leaders pit? When do the leaders pit? It's getting
Yeah,
close to the time
I
when
can
they
tell that
should.
Shrikant is running the very aggressive Ferrari, real life Ferrari setups from the earlier on in the season, because he is absolutely nailing it right now. But I wouldn't be surprised if his tires fell off in like 3 laps time, and he started falling back towards.
I think Shrikant
Raman.
has to do something at this point. He has gained, what is it,
And he cuts
2
it back
seconds on
down.
Raman at this point. Raman's, I think, taking it a bit slowly. Shrikant's immediately gone at it. So I think Raman's letting his tires
And spun the
get a bit up to temperature, used to the
Spun,
track, and there you go. I mean, we don't need to be too surprised. That is usually
The
Spandan.
customary
Oh,
3 seconds.
Spandan only has a 3-second penalty
Yeah.
at the moment.
No, I mean he did
That
have the drive-through earlier,
is- a drive-through is cherry on top.
and he did jump the start as well.
Yeah, jump start, drive-through. It's a normal day in the life
Is
of
Raman
Spandan.
just driving conservatively? Let's see if he
Yeah, he is.
really
He
not taking
wants
curves
to-
at all.
He probably wants to get to the end on this set if that's
That's
what
a-
he's trying to do,
that's
but
a-
that's not a very sensible thing to do. Or maybe there's a possible thing that he's maybe low on fuel.
It's a bold call, but those are on pressure tires. It's just going to eat him up towards the end. That's the issue
Yeah,
with the race.
exactly. So he should be looking to push, but I think he's
they could
underfueled.
be upwards of 3 seconds a lap faster than him at the
Yeah.
end of this race.
I think Spandan is grossly underfueled. Sorry, Raman's grossly underfueled.
I'm
In
trying to
this
see,
case,
but from my camera,
everybody
if you're,
stays out.
so according to my calculations, I think you lose a lap of fuel every 10 laps. So if you are on anything less than 1.7, 1.8 right now, you will run out of fuel, and that is way before the last lap as well.
Yeah.
Suraj Pates, oh, that locked up really tight. He really tried to.
Manan pits as well, so Suraj and Manan pitting
Yeah,
in tandem.
and speaking of Shrikant, yeah, he is 1.2 seconds slower than his last lap already.
So the
That
tire.
is a drastic drop off.
Has
That
he
is,
overheated his tires, or are they just not giving him the grip he needs?
I
Because
think he's
don't know.
overheating. I think he's overheating those
yeah,
tires.
he's really overheated the tires. That's what happens when you go pedal to the metal immediately. He will inherit the lead come the
a
opportunity when the driver.
1.2 seconds in one lap though, and that's its hards that he's using.
Wicket Vicky with
Wicket Vicky
another
has a 3
penalty.
seconds. And
With a penalty, not another one. But
Penalty, yeah.
do you think Shooter Harsh Noble wicket might box
yeah, I think
this lap?
yeah,
I think two of them will go on extra lap.
leading pack definitely looks safe with fuel. So does Shrikant.
Shooter looks to be in a comfortable position. I think Shooter will carry on. Harsh might want to go for the undercut. Will he? Shooter boxes.
Oh,
No, Shooter
Shooter!
sells the dummy. Shooter
Oh.
sells the dummy to Harsh. And as I said, that two of the front top four
That
pitted,
lap
two didn't.
that croqueta right there from Shooter, he's definitely learned from pro clubs. That was brilliant. That was
And-
absolute genius.
I must say that was very masterfully executed by
Yeah, because
Shooter.
he knows that he knows that once now when he's pit, he's gonna have the tire advantage towards the last 2-3 laps because Harsh bit first.
But
The
Harsh
only
will
thing,
undercut
the
him.
only
Harsh will
thing that could
undercut
be
him.
done is if Shrikant does a two-stopper now
and Harsh
sacrifices
comes out
his
behind
race.
Raman. So, is it the best call for
But
Shooter
are
and
the
Noble to pit
medium
right
tire
now?
guys going to run into puncture territory? There were 2 laps of a VSC essentially, so that has.
I think these folks should look to really push at this point.
But
They
we
don't
don't
wanna
know
come
how
out
the
in
hard
traffic.
tires are gonna wear. Jin is pitting after 11 laps. So if it does Jin, one of the
Soft.
best star conservers on the grid, pitting after 11 laps.
Can he do
That
15 laps on softs?
I don't think he's doing 50. I think he might pit again afterwards.
Yeah, I'm not sure why he's
So
gone for pit
that
stop
is
that
gonna.
early, but
That's
yeah.
not gonna be all bells and whistles at Ferrari. Harsh is gonna have to do a 15 lap stint on hards.
And what about Shooter and Noble? Do they box? Shooter will box this time around for real. So does Noble. Let's have a look at their pit
don't break
entries.
your
They
wings.
look very close to the pit wall, but they get through without issues. Shrikant will inherit the lead of the race unless he makes a mistake in these last two corners. Pratham still ahead. Raman is really holding up Harsh, so this is gonna hurt Harsh's chances of getting some advantage at
And
the
Harsh
undercut.
needs to just wait it out and just overtake him at the straight.
Yeah, I think with the help of DRS, Harsh should make the move. Raman will not fight it. I think that is sensibly so. Where will Shooter and Noble come out in regards to Harsh? I think they're gonna come out behind, and they do. So the undercut really working wonders
Everyone's
here,
going
and
everyone's going one stop now, but
Shooter loses the place to
will
Wicked
we
Vicky as
enter
well.
puncture territory towards the last few laps of this race? That's
Possible.
another element that's been added. And
I think
now
it-
for Raman, the equation is pretty simple. If he pits, can he make up the gap? Because he is basically in a race of his own.
He is losing a lot of time. I don't think he is in a very advantageous position right now in terms of either strategy or fuel. I think Raman's really running low on fuel. Let's have a look at his fuel. So he's only plus 1 lap of fuel at this point. As you said, Vifix, that is going to be a big problem for him.
Yeah, that is going to be a big
That
problem.
is why he is driving so slowly. He is trying to conserve some fuel. Up ahead though, Harsh and Pratham very close, and I think on the main straight the move should be made. 7 picks up a penalty.
And you can see how much of a grip advantage Harsh has, but he just cannot do anything right now to overtake.
Yeah, and Wicked Vicky on the back of Raman once again, and look at Shooter!
When did Wicked Vicky overtake Shooter?
In the pit stop phases, but I think down the main straight we should see a move very reminiscent of what Jin
Shooter
did.
genius.
Oh, yeah, Raman did not have any straight line
Raman
speed.
did not move at all from the
was very reminiscent
line.
of,
I think Wicked
Jin.
Vicky was trying to set up the move on.
Yeah,
But Shooter just went. Yeah,
Wicked Vicky started in behind Raman, and Shooter went down the inside, and I think that was what really sealed the deal for him.
Shrikant should be staying out until Shooter and Wicked Vicky catch up to him.
So at this point, I think Shrikant should just be the rear gunner to Harsh once Harsh catches up and passes him.
Which will be soon. He's gaining like 7 tenths a lap. That is the power.
Jin with the fastest lap, but he's a long way back.
That is 3.5 seconds a lap, I think, faster than what Shrikant is doing right now as the lead car.
I think that makes sense. I think
so this is data that should be getting relayed. If I was Shrikant, I would be telling Harsh my pace, just in case somebody tries to do a 2-stop.
Yes.
But if I'm Shrikant,
a 4-second offset. Let's put that as Noble Carter has also overtaken Raman.
But okay, yellow flag for.
No, that was quick. That was the quickest yellow flag ever. So let's just put this into perspective.